Hi everyone, welcome to Aldersgate Sunday School Quarantine Style. I'm so glad that you guys are here. I miss seeing all of your faces, but I hope that we can still have a great time at Sunday School even though we're not totally together. So I have some things on my desk, a nice little message for you, and then some of my favorite games and one of my favorite books. Do you guys like mystery books? They're some of my favorite kind of books. And so I know when the boys were little, we often read the A to Z mysteries, and when I was little, I read Nancy Drew mysteries. I wonder what kind of mystery books you're reading, or if you like mysteries at all. Plus, one of my favorite family games to play is Clue. Have you guys ever played Clue? So what is it about mysteries that we like so much? I think it's because we don't really know what's all happening. We get these little clues woven in and out of the story, and then at the end, maybe we've already figured out the puzzle, maybe we haven't, but there's this aha moment, and we know how it all works together and what's in front of us, and it's exciting. So that's kind of like what happens in the story today. There's two disciples, and they had an aha moment. So let's turn in our Bibles to Luke. Do you guys know where Luke is in the Bible? Is it in the Old Testament or the New Testament? That's right, it's the New Testament. Luke is one of the first 4 books of the Bible called the Gospels. So let's take a deep dive in and find out about the story. The road to Emmaus. Luke 24, 13 through 35. On Sunday, Cleopas and his friend were walking from Jerusalem to Emmaus. They were talking about what had happened in Jerusalem. As they walked, a stranger began walking with them. "What are you talking about?" asked the stranger. Cleopas said sadly, "We were talking about Jesus. Jesus was a man of God. He was killed 3 days ago." Cleopas continued, "This morning the women went to Jesus' tomb, but Jesus was not there. Angels told them that Jesus is alive. Peter went to the tomb, and he did not find Jesus either." The stranger asked, "Why can't you believe what the prophet said?" The stranger began explaining all of the things that were written by the prophets. When they got to Emmaus, Cleopas and his friend invited the stranger to stay and eat with them. When dinner was ready, they all sat down to eat. The stranger took the bread, broke it, and blessed it. Then he gave each person some bread. When the stranger did this, Cleopas and his friend recognized him. It was Jesus. As soon as they recognized Jesus, he disappeared. The friends got up quickly and returned to Jerusalem to find the other disciples. They told the disciples, "The Lord has risen." What do you think Cleopas and his friend? Why do you think Cleopas and his friend didn't recognize Jesus? Okay, so now that we've heard this story from the Deep Blue Bible Kids Edition, let's take a little bit of a deeper dive into it. So the 2 disciples were walking from Jerusalem to Emmaus, which is about a 2 to 3 hour walk. So it was a fair amount of time that they had walking. And Jesus came to them, but they didn't know it was Jesus. In the Bible, it says their eyes were restrained so they couldn't see or understand that they were walking with Jesus. And Jesus, even though he knew what had happened to him, obviously, he approached them by asking them to tell them why, asking them why they were sad. And I think what an amazing way to try and connect with people, to see how they're feeling and how Jesus wanted to comfort them, to relate to them through their own feelings and acknowledge their feelings. I think that's really important. And Jesus wanted to comfort them. And that seems completely normal in the realm of Jesus to me, because he comforts me all the time. So I think as he's walking to Emmaus with them, he's comforting them. He's reminding them, giving them clues to who he is by talking about what was written in the Old Testament and the prophets, and what was stated with Moses and all of that. And so he was dropping these clues. So then when they got to Emmaus, the disciples showed kindness. What a wonderful thing, what Jesus taught us to do most of all, right? Is to love thy neighbor. And so they showed kindness to Jesus, even though they didn't know that it was Jesus that they were showing kindness to. And they invited him in to join them, to have dinner with them. And then when Jesus broke the bread and shared it, and blessed it and shared it with them, they were able to see Jesus. And just like us, I don't know, I'm guessing you guys are the same as me. When I see a really good movie or I read a really wonderful book, I want to tell my friends and family about it. And that's what the disciples did. So they went back to Jerusalem. Again, remember, this is a 2 to 3 hour walk. So they went back to Jerusalem to tell the other disciples that Jesus is alive. He has risen. He is risen indeed. Hallelujah. Did you catch it? When I first came on and I said hello, and I said I had this great message for you. Did you see it? Let's see if we can do something to make it so you can see the message. If I take some watercolors and I paint over my paper, our message is revealed. God loves you. Just like in our Bible story, you couldn't see it at first, but then it was revealed to you. The way to make a special message like this is just to use some white crayons and then get your watercolor paints and paint over it. Now that we've heard the story, we've talked about it a little bit, we found our hidden message, now I have something for you guys to try at home. So your parents should have coloring pages as well as a worksheet if you're interested that I sent them. The coloring page kind of looks like this. If you didn't get a coloring page or you don't have a printer at home, that's okay, because you can do this project without a coloring page. You can do what I did. So I drew a cross on just a plain white piece of paper. I outlined it in black and I made different shapes inside, just like the stained glass windows at church. And then I colored them all bright colors and it looked great. Except I wanted to see something revealed to me in a new way. So I got some oil, and you can use any type of cooking oil that your parents have in their kitchen, and I wiped it on top of the parts that I colored. And now you can't see it very well in the video, but it looks different on the parts that have the oil on it. It looks different and you can see through it, and it really looks like stained glass windows. So I hope that you guys try something at home, whether it's on your coloring sheet or just a different picture that you do at home. You don't have to do a cross. You could do anything, a heart, anything that you want. So thanks for joining me this morning. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I'll see you guys back next week. Bye.